I've been going. I definitely wanted to make this one earlier. I was much more, I don't know, much more like in the right, in the right mood, for this topic. So I'm gonna speak on. I don't want to make this too long, and take up this stores area. So I did make sure to get a drink from Okay. But for those of you who will be tuning into this, who will be checking this live stream out, if you do have the chance, I'm going to speak on um, why this is a topic, why the topic is, kind of sad. It kind of just depends on, what the real reason behind it was. And if the only reason it would be sad is because of the last part. Why does it sometimes feel like up in the air with the things that you do and say that is true, it's being prevented? Not like prevented like physically, but prevented within your grammar, within the way you want to speak about it, come across. So let's say we have two different studies. Let's say we have two different species, and they got to kind of share the same area. I thought I chose a real quiet spot. Maybe I didn't. It was quiet in the beginning, but it's not too quiet right now. Nonetheless, we'll continue. This actually isn't something I want to do. That's more so what I meant. Like I don't want to say it's not guilt, because guilt comes from you actually doing something, and we're coming from a space of not doing something. Actually, we're coming from a space of something being done to us, actually. So that's ridiculous. If there were to be a situation, when there is a situation when someone was done wrong, okay? There's a lot of different ways that you could put up with that. And you wouldn't think there would be a lot of ways that you would have to think about that. Let me see here. You will tell me why. Give me a reason. I'm not going to allow trolls to, I'm going to go ahead and say what I'm going to say. I'm really, I don't want to get distracted. So, there's a reason that, now there really isn't a reason or none of that, to be honest with you. Things are really different now. But that has nothing to do with this. I'm going to go ahead and go back to what I was saying. If you were to be there, let's say there's like a situation. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this better. Timmy likes to, you know what, I was going to use but nah, we'll say this, we'll make it even simpler. We'll make it like really dumb. Okay, we'll make it really dumb. Timmy likes to drink a protein shake. Okay? Timmy likes to drink a protein shake. Shout out to Alex the Best. What's going on? Thank you for checking out the live. And when he drinks a protein shake, it gives him energy, and he chooses to, I don't know, go out and about. He chooses to socialize in his own different way, you know. I don't want to make this example too long, okay? And when he socializes, he gets reckless with it a bit. You know, he probably mingles around the ladies a little too much. You know what I'm saying? He probably gets redirected quite a bit, all just because of this new special protein shake that's out, you know. And now we got Jimmy, and Jimmy, he does the same thing, but Jimmy's into money when he drinks his protein shake. Actually, Jimmy is into money. Okay, Timmy, he's into money too, but Timmy is like not that. Timmy's kind of missing stuff because he's not really like. Don't get me wrong, Timmy's got his head on straight. It's just that he's not really being directed. He's not really aware of things around him. And hey, it's not his fault. Okay? It's not his fault because he just had a different upbringing. Okay? He just had a different upbringing. Okay? So Jimmy kind of knows his way around about. Jimmy's probably a little more aware of things. That doesn't mean Jimmy's like more intelligent, but Jimmy's a little more direct. Jimmy knows how to get what he wants immediately. Timmy knows how to get what he wants too, but he sometimes there's too many little pauses. There's some stagnations within Timmy's way of getting things, okay? So we're 6 minutes in, and we're gonna go ahead and scratch that example. So why did I give that example? Because eventually, Timmy is tired of losing money. Timmy is tired of going through the same things. He's kind of facing, not like it's, facing repercussions from like all the mingling, all the socializing. But the thing is that Timmy just sees how the world is changing, how people around him is changing. It kind of works with, it happens with everybody. So Timmy ends up coming across Jimmy. Oh yeah. Timmy ends up coming across Jimmy. What is the reason that they came across each other? Well, the protein shake. I guess they just ended up meeting, not even really meeting. It's more so they kind of just came across each other's, like, I don't know. Well, I guess it's kind of validated to say the word aura, I guess. Not really a word I want to, a lot of people have been saying that word aura farming. Jimmy ends up acknowledging Timmy, and Timmy ends up acknowledging Jimmy as well. And they acknowledge each other for two different reasons, okay? Timmy acknowledges Jimmy because Timmy learned from Jimmy. And Jimmy acknowledges Timmy because Jimmy sees something in Timmy that Timmy can't see, okay? So we're going to go ahead and be done with this. And I'm going to go ahead and speak on why it's kind of sad that a business partnership that could have been built is something that ended up being a bunch of disorientation for a whole different motive that you never thought it would be. If because education and learning and validations in order to get such a study done, in order to get studies that involve judging from afar, studying, experiments, kind of seeing what's going to happen, patterns, tracking, satellites, signatures, and it has a lot to do with signatures. And I like the way that these lives kind of start out, where like I'm kind of slow at first. I really don't know how to talk about it, but then I start to catch, the groove, and then we kind of bring it together, let me acknowledge this right here that I did start it out with a dumb. This one I did, the message was held for review. I don't know if everyone can see it though. I'm gonna show it actually. So it says that one there. I won't repeat that one. Then it says shut up. I don't know what WSP means, okay? But sometimes when you're trying to get a message from someone, even like this, it may be hard to even pay attention to it for a long time, because someone who's even like me, you can get caught off track, and now you kind of lose what you were, kind of be on track about. But no, this one here, and give me grace. Like it's been a long day too. Work had more work after that, and now it's winding down, and we got to do it again tomorrow. And this is where a lot of this comes in, too, is changing patterns that were repetitive. Me personally, I'm not a repetitive pattern person, but there's a reason to the repetitive patterns. In the past, I'd say like a year and a half, 2 years. Okay, we're gonna bring it all together. It means what's up. All right, good. Appreciate that. What's up? Appreciate you for checking in the live. Because the person, what would have brought this together, and it would have been worked really good, is understanding what this person is using. Yeah, what this person is using in order to make this partnership work. So like we said before, now like I said, we get into a groove. Now we could bring it back to the example we made before with Jimmy and Timmy. What brought them together? Well, it was a protein shake. It was a protein shake, and this is what we mean by this. So there is something that would have made this work, and what would have made it work is what these two use. Okay? Now, individually, it's up to them on why they choose to drink this protein shake, Jimmy and Timmy, okay? So, like I said before, Timmy saw a lot in Jimmy because Jimmy was doing a lot. Jimmy was the one who was using the protein shake in a better way compared to Timmy, but Jimmy sees something in Timmy, but Timmy don't really know. Timmy has an attribute that Jimmy like, okay? So let's go ahead and be done with that. I know I said that before. Actually, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get right into it. People really don't think sometimes, depending on how long something is allowed, and it's really rare. This is definitely some never before seen type shit. This is definitely some never before seen type shit. Okay, so shout out to Jerry. He just said, I just joined. What are you talking about? So what we're talking about is two individuals who had understanding, actually, and the understanding is a misunderstanding, and it's kind of weird to say that. So it's going to be hard for you to understand that. And it's the way this is being broken down from me, and why it's hard to understand right now. You will understand later. So just it's kind of one of the things where you got to be patient. You kind of got to be patient, and you're kind of like you're waiting, but you're not getting it, because there is something that this individual was not seeing, and it's pretty plain and simple if we want to get straight to the pudding. When there's just alternative motives, Okay. Now, the title of this vid actually has nothing to do with me, but it can surround me. It is surrounding me. It is based upon experience involving people, but I'm not going to get specific. It's not tricky really, but it's more so just kind of like a peace thing. It's kind of more so not even that, more so of a balance thing, and understanding that a lot of times in order to kind of get peace, you gotta you have to sacrifice it for a certain amount of time. So what does that mean? It means you're gonna have to be uncomfortable. It means you're gonna have to be uncomfortable in order to get peace. I made a couple lives before, and those lives were a little more direct about what I was speaking about. So one thing I don't want to do is redirect and make things hard to kind of align, especially when it comes to someone who's choosing to be, on a platform. And more so for my reason is to hope that I can be told what it is that I need to know. That's one thing I know for sure, is there's something I need to be told that I need to know. And that's really all it is. At this point, it's I'm not confused actually about anything. It's more so about why is it that people would try to confuse something. And we've already seen many examples of that I've spoken about in much earlier vids where I was definitely more in a space of disorientation being practiced on me. I'm not even going to go out all the way to say that I was being disoriented. I'm not going to say that. What we got there? Another troll. It's all good. It comes with it. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a reason behind why you would even say that. It's probably because, you know, maybe you are. And if you are, I just don't have no comment to that. I don't think about things like that. I don't think about that things like that. But, you know, really what is seeming to be the angle we're coming from here, obviously, is not wanting to say things that's inaccurate. We don't ever want to make statements that are accurate. So that's why I would word things a certain way. That's why I would word things a certain way and be like, quote, there better not be a situation as individuals. What's going down, man? Doing good? Yes, sir. There better not be such a situation as individuals around someone being paid for narratives, social groups that are yours, affiliations that are yours. That would be insane. Why would that happen? Why would that happen to someone on a platform who's being told by viewers that they're nobody? So why would that happen? So, you know, at the end of the day, like I said before, I didn't really get to even plan this one out. This was not much for, you know, kind of engaging in direct things that I will be having to engage in. Because like I said before, this is not something that I even really wanted to do. I really do think it is an ego problem. I really do think it is definitely 100% an ego problem. And I can definitely tell that there's a lot of anger involved, and I don't understand why. Because it seems like if anyone who were to participate in something that they know they shouldn't have been involved in, why would you be upset? In fact, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Skill Ulrich says, I don't know if that's, it says Trump or Harris. Hopefully you could tell me, because you didn't use a question mark, so I'm not gonna assume that was even a question for me. Appreciate you for checking out. The reason that this could have been something is because of the starting point. The starting point is the reason that whatever, and this is not, look at this for whatever way you want to look at it, okay? But I'm basing it definitely off the premise of a vision that was seen from this perspective, where this business partnership, and I'm speaking on terms of, I'll get specific and say 2019, 2020. So these individuals, one individual at this point may pretend to not know who this person is, actually, okay? And that's what I meant before with that statement saying, that would be insane. That would be insane for this person to pretend to not know who this person is, okay? Because if that were going on, then that's what I would like to call sweep under the rug tactics. And this person's going to come up with some spiritual validation on why they're correct. Because, well, what was an understanding was just what was being used. That's what the understanding was. So that's why they were able to understand each other. What this one individual wasn't able to understand is that this person was doing a bunch of indirect subliminals about this person. One thing I noticed is if there really is like a situation that a person is not happy about, well, you can clearly see that this person over here is not happy about this situation either. Because why would this person be here, sitting here, babbling, and still the viewers don't exactly know where he's coming from? Maybe it's because the purpose behind this has nothing to do with the viewers. Yeah, so maybe we actually surpassed that. Maybe we actually do not care when it comes to how much attention and validation behind it. And it's so much to the point where you always were that person. Me specifically too, I always was that person. Where you're literally just doing you, but it looks like you're trying to do that. It looks like you're trying to do that, trying, but you weren't trying, you were doing you. So it's one of those things where kind of there's got to be like little parameters. There's kind of sometimes got to be shields built around that, because you need to shield someone from what may be perspectives from a whole different audience. It don't even got to be an audience. There's a bunch of what do you call it? I was about to say naysayers. Why did I think that? But I don't know. Observers. Yeah, let's use that word, observers. And if all these observers who are seeing this are coming from the same reasoning to why they'd have that observation, but that's not the correct observation. So you have the majority thinking that's what the outcome of what we can now call an experiment, what we can now call a hypothesis, that was never even supposed to be one. So how was there a study, a hypothesis, an experiment created off someone, and this person didn't know? I didn't know I was yapping for 22 minutes. It's already too long. This is why this wasn't able to work out, yo. This is why this business partnership, what could have been one, wasn't able to work out, because there's a situation going on, yo, where someone doesn't really have an understanding of what's going on. And in fact, this person was purposely not given an understanding on what was going on. And then eventually, I mean, it's going to get even worse.
All right, bro, have a great night.
You take care, man. Thank you. What do I mean by worse? This. Because this is something that doesn't need to be happening. Like you said, what do you do? Oh, right. You're right. You want to know what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about is what I'm gonna have to talk about. I am okay. I'm just, I don't know. I just wish I wasn't doing this. I'm okay. Oh, Dev, I'm gonna be better for sure. I just wish I wasn't doing this. I wish I wasn't talking about this. I wish things worked out before. I really do. I wish things worked out earlier. Because there's two sides to something all the time. That's why we're speaking like this too. It don't really be what you think it be. Things be playing out to hope that an individual will just immediately start attacking. Will immediately start throwing shade. Will immediately start making assumptions. Will immediately start making false statements like what these people made about me. because that's what these people did do. They made false statements about me. So this here has everything to do about the shadow energy behind what these false things said in the light. You said there's no context. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. It's one of those series things. It's one of those stay tuned things. There really can't be no context to this one, so I apologize. Not yet. Not yet. Context. We will get there. I know you're kind of rushing it a bit. I am being a little slow though, but luckily, we understand the leapfrog effect. Yeah, there was betrayal. Yeah. Okay. When you try to confuse someone, when you try to deceive someone, and not only that, when you try to put someone in literally a space where they can't even help themselves, I'm trying to figure out how that has anything to do with education. This person is over here confused about that part. This person isn't exactly confused about what they're doing. They're confused about what was done to them. Literally. They're confused about why something was done to them. They're confused about why there's a bunch of headspace games to try to disorient someone, to try to make someone feel like what they're speaking is a bunch of nonsense, okay? Because that's what this has everything to do with, especially when it comes to projects that involve multiple people. So it's not one of those things that's supposed to be like, oh, we're just gonna look in the past and we're gonna keep whining about the past and this is what happened to me and things like that. And people who want you to be like that, people who want you to be disoriented, people who want you to be speaking like you don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out why did you do that? You know that I know. You want to know the main reason? Because I'm afraid I can't uphold. That's why you got to have a business, a partnership. So I was learning. And you thought you were learning the easy way. But you learned the hard way. You learned the hard way. Well, because you can clearly see that. So are you upset? Are you upset? Are you really upset because you tried to deceive, not even to try? And this person, I mean, goodness gracious, like over time, you don't think someone would find out? You really didn't think someone was like at least somewhat not that stupid? I'm going to be having vids coming up, lives coming up, that, like I said before, there's really no such thing as want to be negative. There's really no such thing as want to do this. And there will be such a thing as this will be more understandable from here on out. So keep that in mind. This will probably be the most confusing live that you actually come across. Because there's a reason that I got to make this one the starting point. And then it'll make sense. And it won't even matter if it makes sense or not anyway. I really wish that the right people would tell someone what's going on. Because eventually that's what it's going to have to be. So it is what it is now. Me personally, I got to find my way through things. Because I'm not happy with where I'm at right now at all. Hello from India. Good stuff. We're in Florida right now. Right now. I'm not happy though. Especially with Florida. Man, it would be too hot. Luckily it's nice and cool right now. Yeah, because things were definitely done, and then there was a bunch of delusions and deception around it, and it is absolutely just honestly disgusting to see how far people went to hide that when they already knew this person knew. Okay, so that's why a lot of things that I'm even seeing right now, seeing in the present time, I cannot cater to. I cannot cater to a lot of things that is happening around me right now, positive and negative, because I have to start from the root. Okay, so from the root is what we're going to build up to right now into order to receive what's ours, because I'm not giving up on that. No, I am not. I'm not. Ain't no one over here, you know, not scared, or you know what I'm saying, don't know, they're paranoid. No, no, not at all. I'm not paranoid. I do not have no mental health illness. I might have to say that in every live, because a lot of that is the starting point to this. If that same person is still listening right now, if not, that is definitely the starting point. Is a narrative about mental health illness and documents, fraud, and money. And not only that did you get taken from financially, you got taken from. There was also slow me down prevention tactics being done. 100%. And that's where we stop. That's where we get into more specific lives. That's where we actually break that down. They're just hoping that someone just gets reckless with it. Makes just Looney Tunes statements. Yo gabba gabba out of this world type stuff. It's hard to even try to be funny now, to be honest with you. It's funny, yeah. No. That's why. That's why this is being done. So it's going to be very hard for those of you who are especially new to who I am to understand where I'm coming from. I don't want to talk about what I've been through. I don't want to talk how much experience I have. I don't want to try to sound smart. No. I don't want to take on something I can't handle. No, I don't. That's where I'm trying to say where I messed up. Okay? But I've spoken on that too much, and I honestly got to quit saying that too, because I already took accountability. And in fact, my judgment has already been placed on me. My judgment has been placed on me already. And this is a part of it, and it's up to me to uphold it and to make it make sense, most definitely. And one thing that does make sense is there was a bunch of lies made around me. And it was allowed for a while, you know what I'm saying? And there's a validated reason to why it was allowed. There's a validated reason, my own personal reason to why it was allowed. And after that validated reason to why it was allowed, I was ready to go. And then something else popped up. Something else popped up that stagnated that situation, that stagnated that understanding. And we're going to separate that, because that's one thing I will be wise about, and I will separate from, are those two situations. I'm not going to throw them together. But the reason they may and better not be together is because of now. This is where I'm coming from when I made the example saying that statement. So why would that? Why would someone do that? Why would that be an alternative motive, to purposely go through someone's followers list on social media and hit them up over a job? No, that better not be happening. And if it is happening, let me reword that. This person needs to know. And if this person is purposely not being known, and this person requested that's withholding information. Please try to tell me how there's some spiritual lesson behind that validates you to do that, to infiltrate somebody's affiliations. And you know why you're doing that. I don't know what kind of weird mind that is, yo. That is definitely some power control problem struggle nonsense. Especially if I wanted to get specific. And I'm not going to, because it's like, dude, this person already knew. This person already knew that someone knows how to be in the passenger seat and not be the one who's dictating what's the next lesson. As long as they're getting a piece of what that partnership and what that person was supposed to do, because that's why this person was even making this, because that's what they saw before. And obviously you saw something too, because that's why you did that. So definitely don't sit here and try to act like someone ain't aware of something. Been kind of quiet on their end lately. Why is that? Maybe, hopefully, their next talking point there will be an understanding to that. Hopefully, their next talking point, there'll be an understanding to why they made a talking point speaking on a terroristic action being made on someone because of a medical situation. I hope that's being spoken on. I also hope that they speak on why they deleted that. I hope they speak on that part too. Make sure to like it on that one. I usually don't ask for people to like, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say that for that one. Yeah, go ahead and like the live on that one. Why would they try to backtrack? And then said, hello, my fellow mixed kid. Yeah, and even all that native. Where'd all that go? What happened to all that? All them titles on that ain't really been. Was that what, to try to save face or something? Because you notice how that stopped. Grifting, that's coming from you, huh? I'm sorry. Because I don't want to be that. Because that's not who I am. That's not right, yo. That's not right at all, man. I don't even want to give people an understanding of how much someone would go far to just, for what? For what? I'm gonna tell you right now, man. It's gonna be a build-up. And it's not gonna be a slow build-up, but it's gonna be a build-up. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean like today. It doesn't mean like tomorrow. Spiritual healing said, "Are you? Am I what?" I said a lot. But yeah, man. Because withholding information from someone, withholding finances, withholding assets, it's not right. This person requested information. This person asked, and not only that, this person knows. That O word that ends with the N word, with the other H word that ends with the G word, that better not be true. It better not be true. Yes, you're correct. There's a lot of people who get on here who are. There's no need to be ashamed about that. In a lot of different ways. No other way is more special than the other way. Especially even when it comes before things like a wife. Like I said before, 2019, 2020 is where things over here began. So there's a lot of things I would like to know, but then again, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't ask because maybe I wouldn't want to know, you know? I just hope, more so, I'm going to be honest and be real kind of abrupt and specific. talking from a completely neutral place and no ulterior motive. Take your time. Thank you. I thank you for respecting that. You're confused. Well, maybe you are, because why are you leaving that comment? I don't think I am. I think I'm speaking. I did. I mean, it depends. It depends on. Well, you tell me on what. You need to be more specific. I gave my reasons to why I'm not being detailed and specific. So, I really do be pretty expansive with the way I think. So, a lot of times it can play out negatively for me, and I know that. So it can be tough. And I don't know who that is. Is that a person's name, or I don't know if that you accidentally wrote that. Okay. No, you straight. No, you're good. I don't even want to. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or anyone either. I think for me, the reason it comes like this is because my future relationships, businesses, and not only that, just myself is going to be better than before, way better. And I know that. And that should be something that everybody thinks. Everybody should think like that. That's why I'm speaking like this. Because guess what? This is the internet at the end of the day. Used for what? Now, I did give the example before about the Jimmy Timmy thing. That thing was kind of stupid. But I mean, they were both using. They were using something. They were using the protein shake. They were using the protein shake for what they were doing. Jimmy did it better though. Maybe Jimmy took advantage of Timmy. Maybe. It's just an example though. Those are at the end of the day, we're referring to we're making y'all know them TV shows. We're just using examples and stuff. I didn't really want to, this didn't really come out the way I wanted it to. It'd be like that sometimes, Not every live is going to be perfect. I'm just getting the hang of this. To be honest, I haven't been consistent with this in the past 2 years for a major reason. I don't know if you're bad. I think you didn't mean to put bad. You probably meant to put bad. I've never heard that quote before, though. But I'll, Everybody goes through betrayal. This isn't even supposed to be something because, trust me. I mean, oh yeah, I got betrayed. I mean, that's not, but everybody does. Everybody does. Okay, so this is just somebody's way of putting up with it. Respect that this is just somebody's way of putting up with something, and it is a build-up. So it's not like it's just this and that's it. No, this is going to continue. This is going to be built on. Yeah. Thank you for looking at it like that. Thank you. Same to you. Let me go ahead and just kind of summarize this one up, and I'm gonna end it. Okay, there was a business partnership that there was a gift given to me. I look at it as a gift. Okay, this person on the this was a gift, and the reason it was a gift is because it is what started my spiritual journey. And I could have got myself into a bunch of destruction. I had destructive behavior. Okay, now the reason that there's grace given within this destructive behavior, that's kind of more so just be things that have to do with like lust, attraction, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men are on here, and they're definitely more, what do I put it? They're definitely more, not like afraid to admit it. Like they're not afraid to speak about it. You know, they're not afraid to go into detail about it. There's a bunch of channels, yo, that just go straight. This one channel called Purpose something, I don't know, and they just go within. They go within. I like that. I like that. I got my reasons for not more so doing that. Okay, so we all have our different ways that we do need to heal. I said it. I said it in a vid before. I didn't even upload it, honestly. I have so many vids I made, didn't even upload, and basically I was just talking about how everybody has their different way of even praying too. And not only that, I also said yes, I'm still a sinner, 100% too. Yeah, yo, honestly, there's some really whacked out things that I will be getting into that wasn't discussed on here. And it's all going to be brought together. It's pretty whacked out. It's not really something I really want to even, I don't want to get into it. 100% going to get into it. And I hope that I wouldn't even have to make a statement. Like, I hope just the right people reach out to me so I can get clarity on, the right direction I got to take in order to get that taken care of in terms of, all these plagiarized and fraudulent acts that were done on me. Okay, because it be like that. And the thing is that this is just I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and a lot of this has to do with energy. It has a lot to do with a right, birth authority rights and things like that, and things I really just never was whatever, you know what I'm saying. Me personally, I just didn't want to make it like that because it seems like for others it kind of does things, kind of makes them more upset, to be honest with you, because I never had a power struggle problem. I think the what's that one word? The projection is deep on the other side of it, and they're trying to make it seem like I'm projected that, like I'm the one who's making it about control, and I need to take control back, and I this and that, and some sort of tone thing. And no, I've seen very clear when it comes to what was done. That someone said no context. You will have context. In fact, I understand that this is live. There's a lot about YouTube that I gotta and just this platform in general that I have to get a better understanding at, and I'll get better at over time. And not only that, it just more so comes with consistency. If you're consistent in a week, and you can have like a consistent consecutive like 20 videos, in a week, right? Or you could be someone like me who's had 20 videos spaced out over like a year. It's not good. People aren't going to really understand what's going on. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a space of I need to be consistent, and that's where my judgment is coming on too. It comes from consistency, and I have to prove consistency. Okay? Because when judges get judged, you don't see the way they're being judged. So keep that in mind. They won't be able to believe it. We're sipping on this tonight. I shouldn't have bought it actually, because I already have one. But the reason I bought it is so it would validate me being out here this long speaking without purchasing something from the store. So that's why I got it, and it tastes really good. I highly doubt many people have promoted this. So maybe this company could hit me up so I could be their promoter. Because eventually, this is not, this ain't it, chief. And this is something that I want to take care of very rapidly. I want to take care of this situation very rapidly, and it's up to me on how rapid that will be. And I'm not even gonna say things like, because there's a lot of things, especially when it comes to on here, just statements and things that I'm not gonna even make anymore, because I see a lot of the self-reflection, especially during a naive and amateur time on here, back then, that was used on me. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't made those vids, them G-stalking vids, 2, 3, 4 years ago. Well, actually, the ones 4, 5, 6 years ago were deleted in order so I could be here speaking to you guys. Yes, sir, it is. And if you haven't had it before, if you've had it before, you know what's up. In terms of the drink, yes. But yeah, back to that. This is what is actually upsetting opposers right now, is me being able to still continuously expose that word, but not be seen as a delusion or not be seen as a mentally ill person. So this is why we spoke on things like previous relationships that involved that person having a mental illness. But one thing I will say is that when I was in that partnership, when we were together, bro, she didn't even have no mental illness, bro. So yeah, so if people were wondering, one thing I will say about myself, I am a master healer. Yes, I am. I just don't want to go around saying I'm this, and then putting these titles on me and things like that, and then people coming around to see if I'm gonna uphold that because I said that, and now this is saying this and stuff. I don't want that, yo. I do not want that. I have things I do outside of here. I do not need extracurricular things making things hard because I'm on here. Especially when I know that I'm doing a good job of not making sure that those intertwine. So when I see others doing that to intertwine, confessing about what? You just got on here and made an assumption. Come on, man. I'm not upset or anything, but just like help me understand. What are you talking about? Curtis Knight, confessing. What am I confessing? You tell me. You can't ask me that. So I'm gonna ask you. You tell me? What am I confessing? Maybe you've been viewing. I don't mean that in a rude way. Well, you should know I'm speaking. Well, I was until. You might have to start it back from the beginning. You might be just hopping on. But it's probably time for me to get on out of here too. Oh yeah, well I mean, I think that's just a statement people make. Good catch though. Yeah, see, good catch. I'm not gonna be over here like before I go live, like making sure to pre-adjust myself to make sure my statements are all perfect and stuff. Come on, man. Like we be on here. Shout out to all the everybody who be on here and just making their own channel and stuff like that, man. I've had, especially just being so boxed in and stuff like that. Hold on, there's a staged event. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I gotta mute that real quick. You know what I'm saying? But which is cool. I know him. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't. Some people don't ask to be on. That's another thing too. It get tricky. Like I wanna balance things. I got this from a freaking what do you call it, a thrift store. Got it from a thrift store. A good $3, real good shirt. I like this shirt because I've worn it in multiple vids now. It just fits good. Cool shirt. But yeah, probably time for me to get on out here, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This is definitely just much different than the way I looked at it before. I've already what's another word for what? Said sorry? for being like a nuisance and kind of like for interrupting like an like an authoritative pattern kind of. But the thing is that the reason I know for a fact and have been given grace on this is because it was definitely unintentional, and it was told that this person told this individual that it was unintentional. Okay, so, and this person knew and still wanted to go out and make it intentional and make things into a fight. And we'll get more into that. We'll get more into that. And I kind of gave a hint earlier. There's a lot of hints that I throw out here that I unintentionally throw out because it truly is who I am, and I'm starting to understand that. And this is why I kind of expanded into a space like that, because previously, before, and it could have been a negative thing, and now it's not because you became aware of it, but before you didn't think like that. You didn't think about the way another person was gonna view you before you did that. Don't get me wrong, and I never, I didn't even mention the jaw surgery thing in here, but I've mentioned it in so many vids. I just don't like repeating the past. I want to take care of things that was done to me in the past. That's the main motive of this whole channel, actually. And for those of you who are new to this channel, and I'm going to have to start making that statement more, actually, that is what the starting point of this channel was. It was never gambling. It was never gang stalking. It was never they did this to me. It was jaw surgery. It was I had to get a surgery done. I had to get a surgery done. And the ways I was going about getting this surgery done was seen as too much, because I was doing too much. But what was seen as doing too much really wasn't. It was being played out as doing too much. I was doing what everyone does. I was going to college. I was mingling. I was working. Everywhere. So I'm tired of talking like that. I'm too old, actually, now. Some of you may be shocked by how old I am. I'm definitely older than I look. Definitely spiritually, too, if you want to take it that way. It would be hard to understand. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a clue on the way that any of you are viewing me right now. Yeah, you're trolling. And I'll still take that as a compliment. Because 7 of you are completely viewing me in a whole different way. But then I view the way I would view that in a different way too. What if 7 of you are in the same room right now viewing me? That could be possible, So basically, there was just kind of like a bunch of stagnation, a bunch of bugs in the system, So I was missing shifts. I was definitely missing shifts, and we all know that life is a pattern, We all know that. One thing about me that makes my messages much more hard to understand and very confusing for some of you, I am at that now, is I don't like repeating statements that people make, bro. I don't like making cliche statements. That's one thing about me. I do not like making cliche statements. I do not like saying something that is like you already know, and yeah guys, and you gotta make sure to gotta do better, and this is 10 ways to get a girl, like bro, oh my no, dude, I'm so sick of stuff like that. See what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right though. You're right. But I got you though, because you're over here questioning what I'm talking about. Well, if you're that smart, you would know what I'm talking about already. And I agree with you. I'm not. Right now, currently, I'm not being a motivational speaker. Not at all. You're correct. You're very correct. So I do not take offense to that at all. You're very correct. You're correct, yes. Nice. I like that one better too. Will be. Will be. You know? Will be. This is kind of like a lead up to it. This is actually the lead up to it. This is the pilot, the pilot, if you will, to it. This is the pilot. This. I'm not saying like I'm the pilot. Where did the pilot go? I don't know. Yeah, I'm good on that. But yeah, man, um, it'd be nice to know what the other side of this person, people, perspectives would think. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so kind of curious what the third eye, the kind of like the third vision, because I know there's got to at least, and I know it's very few. I think it's more than one, but there's got to be at least more than, yeah. I'm gonna be on that video game. You quit distracting me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they got me on the new GTA actually. But I know for a fact, that there's definitely a third perspective on it that someone has, for a fact, that actually knows what I'm talking about, for everyone who's actually confused about it. So I'm curious on that one too, because I kind of already have like the other opposing I do actually. I mean, come on, man. What, actions speak louder than words? Louder than words? Colby Jack, yeah. So that probably happened to you already. Are you? Because I would like to question, like, why are you even like asking that? I don't really want to. I'm gonna go ahead and reverse that on you, or what's that one term? Revolving door. Currently, I work a dead end position. So why would you think that? But I'm not taking offense, actually, man. I did speak on how I had a lot of things going on, but that word is actually being used too much. So am I? No, actually, I'm not. No, no, I'm not. I'm not tweaking out. I'm gonna go ahead and show that one. Oh, moderator handled that. I'm willing to show it. Oh, I guess I have a moderator. I don't know. Who didn't want me to show this person like trying to. That's weird, yeah. People like that still like do things like that, like say things to hope that it hurts someone or something. I think that's it. I am mumbling now. I think that's just to get me to stop and get my point across. But I could have been more specific with what my point was. But all that matters is I got the starting point kind of for this out of the way. I did get my point across, actually, even if not everybody kind of understands. That's okay. It'll make sense. It'll make sense later on. Yeah, I am upset a little bit. Yeah, I'm upset. But I mean, there's times I'm laughing too. So I mean, I'm happy to. How about you? Are you upset? Because that's what's on your mind. You said why? Um, because I just don't like it when people know that you know something and they just won't tell you. It's kind of just about people that you actually cared about just hiding things from you. That's why I'm upset. Spiritual healing. Yo, spiritual healing, you're kind of going back and forth a bit, yo. You're kind of acting like you rock with me, but then you're acting like you don't, like throwing digs at me over there. You were low-key my favorite one here. No, I'm not bipolar. No. things that they did in terms of documents that were signed in my name. Well, tell me how you know that. Kid underscore Stardust 86 says, healthcare is full of dot dot dot, so you don't know how to spell. He's upset too, he's lying. It's just that he pretends like he's okay. Well, how am I pretending if I'm right here being me, you, dude? No, I am betrayed. I don't feel like it. I don't feel really, I agree when people hide things. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, you know? And I think that that friend who told you that is like, that's just not even a friend. Kid underscore Stardust 86 says, not you. He's upset too. He's lying. It's just that he pretends like he's okay. Okay, gotcha. I get what you're saying. See, I'm trying to tell you guys, I really be an expansive mind, man. I thought for a minute, I thought you were actually talking about like what, like the affiliations I was talking about, but you were talking about this. See, ostracized from family can hurt deeply too. Yeah, you know, I made vids on that earlier, but at the same time, there's still communication in that. You know, it's something that you don't try to make animosity. You know, so it's good to be. It's one of those things where you know how to make the energy peaceful because you want it to be. But both individuals, both parties understand that there definitely needs to be some sort of mediation to this. Hill or Cat One says, "What are your friends lying about?" I didn't exactly make that statement actually. Friends is an interesting word too. I said the word affiliation. I like to use that word better. Family matters, but at the end of the day, family doesn't always have something to do with blood. Yes, agreed 100%. Yes. I like the way that previous statement came out. So yeah, it's all good. I can take the constructive comments. I can take the criticism. I can take the even the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can take all of that. But but it's I had a good point. I said about they keeping it from you and why. It's involving medical. Okay. I do not like it. And here's the thing too, okay? Because I'm gonna go ahead and let that one. Not that it's something that had to been let slide or something, but what you need to understand is this is a starting point. So there will be details on it. I did make statements on it before, but it's not your fault because you know you're a new viewer, you're hopping in, you know. But it has everything to do with being involving medical records. The starting point was a coworker, actually, believe it or not, in 2020. So that's one thing that I will say. The starting point definitely was a coworker that was placed in that position alongside me for an agenda, and that is 100% true. And that is, I do have a vid on that. But you know, here on out, this you know, this is why a starting point like this has to be done, because there will be clarity, and it won't be reckless, you know. Now here's the thing, we're not making that's not a statement I'm making, all right? I said this has everything to do involving medical records, okay? But the coworker was a starting point. There are vids on that, yes. A lot of there's a lot of content creators, and it's honestly almost to the point where it's trending. A lot of yeah, it looks like it's a lot of light is being shown on that, 100%. A lot of and shout out to every other individual that has their own individual story on that. And yes, it has been exposed 100%. Define starting point. I just did. For organized profiting off someone and financially stagnating someone. So shout out to is it Hither Cat? Yeah, yeah. For what the starting point for what you said. Yes, I know I'll win. The thing is I already won though. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you just gotta get back. What was lost though. Okay. It's because like sometimes like you can lose something, but that doesn't mean you ain't winning. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like sometimes you can lose something, but that doesn't mean you're not winning though. You know what I'm saying? It sounds stupid, bro. Like you can go buy some groceries and then you accidentally drop it and didn't know, you lost it. You're still winning it. Yep. It was the starting point. Yes, that was the starting point. If we want to speak on things that happen in real life. So if we don't want to speak on things that involve agendas on the internet that were meant to disorient and to disengage and to kind of put someone in a discombobulated mindset. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. A lot of statements, a lot of terms can be shown, when it comes to things regarding this, but it's up to the person because it's got to be a build-up. It's got to be a build-up. If I have to be completely vague in this one because it's I don't get the best of I definitely don't get the best of both worlds in it. Okay. Yo, shout out to Forrest David Dawson. Yes, I 100% remember you. Yo, I hope you're doing good. One of the yes, one of the original supporters. Thank you for popping in. Because there was even reckless things I was saying, and that's with me shining the most negative light I will on me, because at the end of the day, everything that I'm doing, literally everyone does. The reasons for that they use to do what they did to me was literally just go overboard with just yeah, they be hiding real supporters though. Actually, notice how they do that. They be hiding real supporters, and you were one of them. I remember that. Hope you're doing well. Really do. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for real supporters popping in. Thank you. 100% know you're a real one. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Completely just going overboard with just exaggerating the hell out of stuff, yo. Exaggerating like crazy, man. So I really would hope that there would be no such thing as this individual go that far to team along individuals because they have other alternative motives that are involved that validate them to do this. Because it would work. Because this person wouldn't know like that. And this is why this is the starting point. Because these individuals cannot believe it. They cannot believe it. And I want to say that this is some glitch stuff. A person would say something, a person would do things like this, because to be honest with you, I'm not the only one. When I say you weren't even supposed to be here, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. I'm supposed to be gone. Thank you for leaving that statement, Forrest. You helped me feel not alone in my struggle. Thank you so much for that. Because I had a phase in 2024 where I was supposed to start peaking. So keep that in mind. I was already supposed to kind of be on a roll, and then I lost that roll. It lost that role because that relationship I was in, I really gave a damn. And the way and when you start to see things in the future, and now you understand why things are being said the way they are, yo. You know what I'm saying? So this is what this is built on too. For those of you who are new to this, this is what it is built on. And I'm totally cool with that. And you know what I'm saying? I like that too. I like that too. You know, if that's other engagements, even those of you who watch and listen and tune in on, I really appreciate that. I was gonna say much more. Phone is about to die. Forrest, appreciate you for checking in, yo. For real. Appreciate you for checking in. Thank you. Never under pressure. Am I in Brazil? No, right now I'm currently in Florida. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Hithercat one, I hope to see you again. Okay. Thank you so much for you know what I'm saying, for engaging. And yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm an awkward person. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, like I'm not afraid to engage. I'm definitely a people person, I'm not afraid to like be on stage and give a speech in front of 200 people. I could totally do that. I'm definitely an introvert too. Definitely got my quirks. We all do, And shout out to Spiritual Healing LLC. Appreciate you for for tuning in. And everybody else, Sugarman3702, Kid_Stardust86, and everybody else, Mark, Unlucky Bird 76. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for checking out the live.